let's see what happens when we have to apply the midpoint formula in a different way. If you look at the problem that's on the screen, we have the endpoint of a line segment, we have the midpoint of the line segment, and we're looking for the other endpoint. So this isn't a direct use of the midpoint formula. We have to approach it algebraically. And the key, really, is just to give the other endpoint a name. So let's call it x comma y. Now, if you think about the midpoint formula, it says to calculate the midpoint, you need to average the x values, you need to average the y values. That is, in order to get the value -2, that comes from averaging 5 and x. So if you average 5 and x, you get -2. All we do is turn that into an equation. To average 5 and x, you add those up and divide by 2. And when you do that, you get the x-coordinate of the midpoint. Now, we can solve this equation in a calculator or by hand, depending on how difficult the numbers are. In this case, we'll just solve it by hand. If you multiply by 2 on both sides, and then if you subtract 5 from both sides, we get x equals -9. And it's a similar procedure to find the y values, or the y value. -4 and y, if you average those together, you get the y value of the midpoint, which is +4. So we need to average y and -4. So we add them up, divide by 2. That gives you the y-coordinate of the midpoint. Now solve this equation in the same way. Multiply by 2 on both sides, add 4 to both sides, and we get y equals 12. So, if we've done our algebra correctly, we found that the other endpoint must be at -9, 12. Anyway, I hope this video helped. See you next time.